the events page on our BMI website. Additionally, we're excited to announce that we have 3 different campaigns going on throughout Q2. The first is E1, and together we're offering 25% off SmartList Builder, Extender, and SmartView. They have a few upcoming webinars in case you want to get a feel for any of these solutions. Next, if you're considering an upgrade, then take part of a 2-hour training on what's new in Dynamics GP, where you will have a consultant to give you new information about new features based on what you're currently using. Oops, let me actually update my slide so you can see what I'm talking about here. The last webinar of this series was actually the past Tuesday, so don't forget to take advantage of the promo while it's available. And lastly, we also have a webinar series focusing on BI that runs throughout June, with the next webinar scheduled for Tuesday the 14th. Now, if you want to learn anything more about Dynamics GP, including tips or tricks or educational videos, then stop by our blog at letstalkgp.com. Today we'll be focusing on what BI tools do I use, and your presenter today will be Mark Jensen from InterDyn BMI. Just a few last items to go over. We started the call by muting everyone, so if you have any questions during today's presentation, please use the question box feature or the raised hand icon, which are both located on the dashboard on the right-hand side of your screen. We will be recording this session and uploading to YouTube, and we'll include a link in the follow-up email. And lastly, we'll have some time for Q&A with Mark at the end of today's webinar in case we don't cover all the questions as they come in. And that should cover all the housekeeping, so I will change it back to you here, Mark, and I'll let you know when we can all see your screen. Okay, perfect. Yeah, we can see it.
Okay. All right, Michael. Well, thank you very much, and good afternoon to everyone. My name is Mark Jensen, and we're going to take a look at the BI tools that are available, and we'll get into a little bit more about those details. But first off, just do a quick introduction, let you know who I am. We'll talk about what BI is, and then we'll look at what is available within the Dynamics universe, and that includes not only within the Dynamics products themselves, but also some of the ISV tools that are available. We'll talk a little bit about what these tools do and some of their strengths and some of their shortcomings, and then we'll wrap everything up at the end there. But by way of introduction, I'm the Director of Product Management at InterDyn BMI and have been involved with ERP, CRM products for many, many years. Started a few years back with GPA for DOS. I was a tech support person at Great Plains Software, and then moved into what was at that time called Dynamics, is now Dynamics GP, and worked with that product for a number of months before it was officially released. So I've been through support, training, product management for Dynamics GP, and then I've been involved with software product management and marketing for the past 20 years. I was at Microsoft for a number of years after the acquisition of Great Plains Software, and lived in Fargo for quite a while, as you can see, and I'm now based out in the Minneapolis, St. Paul area. Decided to move south and get away from all that cold Fargo weather. Well, let's talk about what business intelligence is, because I think it's important to kind of set what there are a lot of tools that are available out there, and if you ask 100 people what business intelligence is, you'll probably get 200 different answers, and it feels like that to me because every week I seem to hear about some new business intelligence data analysis tool that's going to solve all of the reporting and data problems that that we have, but it's not quite that way. And I think it's important to note that this webinar isn't going to parse through all those tools, but we're just going to take some time to explain what BI means to us, to InterDyn BMI, and we'll get an overview of some of the tools that are available to us within our Dynamics world. But I think it's important to note that BI is more than just data analysis tools and dashboards. I mean, what business intelligence really is the spectrum of what you do to gather and manage the data along with the insight that you have about your business, the experience that you have within your business and your industry, and as you combine that insight, that experience, and that data, that's business intelligence. And of course, this would include all of the, the data capturing that you do, the data management that you have to do, the reporting, the budgeting, the forecasting, if you get into data warehousing and KPIs and all of that type of stuff. But all of these activities and the output that occur from those activities, when you're combining that with your insights and your experience, that's business intelligence. And I think it's also important to remember then, as you move up these layers of different types of processes and tools that you're using, your complexity layer goes up as well. But one of the things to never lose sight of is you're doing this business intelligence work for one thing. That's to learn. It's all about learning where have we been, what's coming, what are trends, and then, again, taking your insight and your experience, applying it to that, and making decisions. So you want good business intelligence processes, good data capturing processes, good data management processes, combined with tools that can help you to learn and then make decisions. So when we get into what's available, we're going to look at Dynamics, talk a little bit about Management Reporter, Power BI, and we'll look at some of the ISV tools that are available. The first area that we're going to look at here is what's available within Dynamics. And within the Dynamics products, we have things that we can do. Of course, there's your standard reports. You have the ability to customize reports. Those are some of the tools that you have available to you. And we have lists. Within GP, we have smart lists. We have navigation lists. Within NAV, we have the ability to be able to create lists. And those lists can be very helpful. They can help us to very quickly audit. Maybe we're doing an audit on what's happening within our ordering area and our order management area. We can very quickly get a listing of invoices. We can drill into those, take a look at the details behind that. We can get activity lists. We can get item lists. I can do ad hoc queries on just about anything, and those things are very easy to deploy. They're built into the application, and they're very easy to manage. They have their downside is they are just going to print you that same list. So I'm not able to format it. I'm often not able to with those lists to be able to get it into easier to read format, and those lists within the Dynamics products aren't always that good at managing very large data sets. Some of the times the performance can be very slow, and some of the times it just isn't able to take a large data set and give me all the information that I'm looking for. And of course, with those lists, I don't get totaling. I'm not able to group it. I'm just going to get that static list that's right there. And kind of the same thing with navigation lists. They are easy to deploy. I can give access to people based upon what they need to see. And a benefit of these lists is I can very quickly take that information and send that out to Excel or to Word and work with it that way. But again, when I'm working with these things, if I need to work with some larger data sets, it doesn't always work well. Excel reporting is something else that I can do. Typically with Excel, I don't have to have a user license. It's very easy to deploy and manage. Everybody has Excel. But a downside is I have to give people access to that SQL server where Dynamics is installed. In other words, I need to give them access to the Dynamics data. And that might be okay for some people, but it might not be something that I want to allow everybody to have. So not going to be really comfortable with people getting access directly to the Dynamics data and being able to pull data right into Excel. Another issue with Excel reports is that oftentimes I can get two versions of the truth. Somebody can pull data, manage it, manipulate it in one way with Excel, and somebody can do a very similar thing, and then all of a sudden I've got two people who are arguing over their data because they feel like they've got the right number. So Excel gives us a lot of flexibility. The two-edged sword there, though, is that I've got a lot of flexibility, and I can pull data and I can manipulate it and interpret it in some different ways. So within Dynamics, we've got a lot of options for us around BI tools. Again, though, one of the important things to remember is it's really about the quality of the data. So if you're managing the data process, the data input process, you're ensuring that you're following with the processes inside of the Dynamics product that you're using, and you get good quality data sitting there, then pulling that data out, you're going to have much more confidence in making decisions based off of that data. So that's just some of what, of course, is available within Dynamics, and I'm going to make an assumption most of you are already using some of those things like the lists and the Excel reports and being able to export data out. We'll look at Management Reporter. Management Reporter is available for Dynamics GP and AX. It is the financial reporting application for creating your financial reports within GP and AX. It's great for generating financial statements, publishing those out to people within the company, being able to share that information very easily with others. It gives you boardroom quality reports, and I don't have to have somebody within IT helping me to be able to create those reports because I'm accessing the data inside of GP and AX. And Management Reporter has a lot of benefits. I don't have to have IT involved. I can create my reports based off of the GL data, so I've got direct access, and that helps me to save time. My month-end reconciliation can go much quicker because I've got those reports set once I've created them, and I can very quickly generate them month after month and become comfortable with the format and know with confidence that what I'm reporting out is going to be based off of the GL, and then I can automate that report distribution as well so that I'm no longer printing and filing. I'm just going to send those out via email. And setting up Management Reporter typically is just a very short implementation cycle. And it's a great product because it uses a building block approach for your report design. It thinks about things in terms of your rows, your columns, the reporting trees. And I can create blocks of rows, blocks of columns. I can mix and match those building blocks. So I don't have to completely, if I want a different version of my balance sheet, I don't have to completely reinvent the wheel. I can maybe use the row block from another balance sheet to build off of within a brand new version of the balance sheet. At the time of running those reports, I've got a lot of options to be able to change the date, how much detail I would like, and I can customize those reports month over month as I print them out. So Management Reporter has been a very stable, very solid financial reporting option within the GP and the AX world. Now, one of the things you should be aware of if you're a Dynamics GP customer is that Microsoft recently announced that the Management Reporter product will no longer have new features added for Dynamics GP. So the Dynamics GP team has made a decision to, for the most part, just place that product into a fix-only mode. They will fix bugs. They will continue to update that and make sure that it's compatible with new versions of Dynamics GP when they are released, but they have also made a conscious decision to no longer add new functionality to it. Now, that's only specific to Dynamics GP. As far as we know, it's going to continue on as a product for Dynamics AX. There's been no formal announcement about the Management Reporter product for Dynamics AX being put into fix-only mode. So for you, if you're a GP client, you might want to think about your financial reporting and continue on, but at some point here we would kind of expect that Microsoft is going to do something a little bit different for a financial reporting product for Dynamics GP. But it doesn't look to be anything in the near future. It looks to be a decision that will be held off here for a while. So in terms of what's available, we looked at Dynamics, we looked at Management Reporter, and I'd like to take a look at Power BI. And this is a suite of self-service business analytics tools that you can use to analyze data, share insights. It is a product from Microsoft. It's not something from the Dynamics team, but it's something I believe out of the SQL Server team at Microsoft, and a broader tool that's free, and then there's also a paid version of the tool, and we'll get into the details about that a little bit later here. But Power BI, and if you went out to powerbi.com, you can learn some more about the product. You can download a version of it. And it's a very, very powerful tool that helps you to transform your data into rich, organized visuals. It is something that allows you to be able to create KPIs like charts, graphs, scorecards, tables, maps. Very powerful tool. You can access this via the web. You can have a desktop application and even a mobile application. And all three of those versions work in a little different way. Some allow you to create and consume content. Others allow you just to consume content. So again, if you went out to powerbi.com, you learn a little bit more about the product. But if you are familiar with creating charts in Excel, creating formulas in Excel, even if you're familiar with SQL Server and doing some data manipulation or SSRS work with SQL Server, Power BI is going to be a very natural product for you, and you're going to find that it's got a lot of things that work in the same way as Excel and SSRS reports. Works with a lot of different applications. You don't have to tie it into anything specific, but it does come with a lot of what they call content packs. There is a content pack for CRM, content pack for NAV, and just recently it was announced a content pack for GP. And these content packs allow you to be able to directly connect into your NAV, GP, CRM data, and it's already aware. It's aware of the data structure of the tables, and you can very, very quickly create reports and graphs because it knows about the data and it knows how the data is structured. And it is also something that works with systems like web analytics. So maybe you're using Google and you would like to bring in that analytics information from Google, combine that with some of your sales order information. You can do that inside of Power BI. And then it works inside of Office 365. And so if you've got an Office 365 account, you can then share out your dashboards, your reports with your colleagues via Office 365. So think of Power BI, it's an entry-level solution that has a very, very high ceiling to it. There are a lot of more powerful alternatives out in the marketplace, but you're going to pay 5 to 6 figures more for those products than you would for Power BI. So the benefits of Power BI, one is it gives you dashboards that are going to allow you to be able to take a look at important information from Dynamics, very easy to use, that will be things that you can share out with other people. You can even share those dashboards via the mobile app, and very powerful functionality right there that can be refreshed on a daily basis if you would like. It also allows your access information from multiple sources, whether that's financial or sales information, that's going to help them in their decision making and allows them to be able to drill into that information to be able to see the details behind the chart. It's something that you can personalize. So we can take that information, personalize that for people. Maybe it's something personal for the Vice President of Sales. Maybe it's something for the VP of Operations to be able to look at purchasing information, creating their own KPIs and create their own charts that they would like to have. And then from that, the users can take information that somebody else has created, and they can create their own KPIs and their charts based off of a visualization that somebody else has created, and they can personalize that, create their own dashboard. So it's very easy to modify and extend it out across an organization. So with Power BI, you have the capability to work with data sets, and think of data sets as tables. So I might have 3 different Excel spreadsheets that contain data. I can pull the data from all 3 of those spreadsheets into one Power BI query. From that, I can then manipulate the data, massage it, get it to how I want it to work, and I can then use that data. I can create connections between those 3 different sets of data that I pulled in from Excel spreadsheets, make those connections. Maybe there's a common connection for the customer ID, or maybe a common connection between salesperson. I create those connections, and from those data sets then I can start to create reports, dashboards, that things that are going to help me to be able to get that data into a more graphical format. And then I create a dashboard, and I can, from within that dashboard, I can create, I can have multiple reports, graphs, scorecards, charts, all within one dashboard that allows me to be able to see in one view the information that's important to me. And then another powerful thing about Power BI is that I can do natural language queries, and it's just basically typing in. I could type in something like, what were sales in December of 2015? And Power BI is going to take that information, run that against the data set that I'm using, and bring back an answer for me. So I can do natural language queries just typing in. I don't have to know a special language, and I can get information fed back to me right out of the data set that I'm working with inside of Power BI. And Michael, I'll just give you a heads up here. I'll finish up on this one slide here, and before we go further, just stop and see if we have some questions up to this time, but I'll finish up on this slide. So this just a little quick view of Power BI, and each of the reports that you create can have multiple charts within them. I can modify those reports. I can copy it to be a new report, and then I can create something new off of what existed. I can create new content on the pages to get KPIs and charts from the data that I'm working with. And then I can pin those different report elements to a dashboard, and then have that dashboard to view anytime that I would like, and it's always refreshable. It's always going to go out and get the latest set of information for me automatically when I open it up. So you can see an example here of a map that's telling me some sales information. I've got just a strict number. I just want to know what's my sales to date. So I just get that number. So you think it's something very simple like that, where I just want to know sales to date. Now I don't have to go through a long report and get to the end of the report to find the sales to date. I can just publish that sales to date number right onto a dashboard, open it up, and see it right away. So the mapping functionality as well is very powerful. It will take a look at your data. So you've got stuff broken out by state. You can drop that state information onto a map, and then that will trigger Power BI to go out, utilize Bing to pull in a map of North America, and then a map of the United States showing all of the states. And then you could overlay, based on your state, you could then overlay your sales information, and you could see in what state do I have the most sales, and get that represented graphically. So a lot that you can do with Power BI. We do have coming up here at the end of June Power BI webinar that'll go further in, and we'll do some demos of Power BI inside of that webinar. So if you're interested in learning more about Power BI, check out that webinar coming up here near the end of June. And then one other thing before we go into the questions, there are two packages of Power BI. There is a free version that is really truly free. It's not a trial version. It's not adware. It does not nag you in any way, shape, or form. It is just a free version of Power BI that you can use. It allows you to be able to share out reports and dashboards with other Power BI users, but you do need to do that via Office 365, and you have to have an Office 365 license to do that. It allows you to be able to refresh your content once per day. You can consume up to 10,000 rows of streaming data per hour, and 1 gigabyte of data can be stored per user. And that 10,000 rows of streaming data, think of that as you've got data coming in from Google, and you'd like to be able to consume that data and see what's happening on your website, and it charts that within Power BI. The Power BI Pro version is $99 per user per month, gives you 10 gigabytes of data capacity per user. You can have up to 8 scheduled content refreshes per day, and you can consume 1 million rows of streaming data per hour. And this does also allow you to be able to create and publish organizational content packs. So with the Power BI Pro, those content packs would be things you could create something that's very unique to your company, and then publish that content pack for other people within the company to use. Or maybe you're in an industry and you want to create a content pack that's unique to your industry. You can then publish that out so that other people within your industry could use it. So the free version, you go out to powerbi.com, you can download that right away and start using it, start connecting it up to Excel spreadsheets and seeing how it works, see if you like it. And if you do, then maybe you want to consider going into the Power BI Pro version. So we've looked at Power BI, we've looked at Management Reporter, we've looked at what's in Dynamics, and before we go in and take a look at what's available from our ISV partners, we'll just stop and see if we have any questions at this time. Michael, are there any questions?
We do not have any at this time.
Okay.
We did have a couple polls, and I'm not sure when you planned on conducting those.
Well, why don't we do that first one?
Okay. All right, so you guys should see a question popping up on your screen here. It is, how confident are you in the security and quality of your company's data that is used for reporting and decision making? Very confident, confident, struggle with some data quality or security issues. So we'll give about 30 seconds or so for everyone to jump on and give us a vote. Okay, we got 3 in so far, and 1 for each of them. So we got 33% on very confident, 33% on confident, and then 33% struggling.
Okay. Interesting. All right, and then why don't we do the next poll as well, because I think that question dealt with Power BI, if I'm remembering correctly.
You are correct. So the second one should be on your guys' screen right now as well. Have you downloaded and tried Power BI from Microsoft? Yes, I have. Love it. Yes, I have. Jury's still out. Looked at the website, haven't considered it yet, and struggle with many data quality or security issues. We'll give another 15 or 30 seconds here for you guys to cast your votes in. We got all but 1 right now. Okay, so it's looking at 33% looked at the website and 67 have not considered it yet.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and close that poll.
Maybe from our webinar here, you'll all go out and just take a quick peek at it. But I would, if you've been using Excel to create charts and graphs, I would just recommend taking a look at Power BI. And I will say that I'm not a technical person. I'm not an Excel guru by any means, but I was able to jump into Power BI and very quickly, very easily create charts and graphs that were more than just you know, colorful bar charts, but they were useful types of things that could be applied to a business.
Hey Mark, do you mind going back to the website just for a quick minute? The Power BI one, I believe. So they can just see the URL.
Oh, I'm sorry, here. That was right there at the bottom of that slide, I believe.
Perfect.
That's the one that you're looking for?
Yep, and we can also send this in the follow-up email if you guys would like that.
Yeah, I would recommend we do that, and then everybody can check it out.
Okay, sounds good. I will add that into it.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you, Michael. So then let's take a look at 3 of the ISV products that we work with. And Solver, which is BI 360, is the product that they develop and market. Jet, they have 3 products, Express, Professional, and Enterprise. And then Atlas from Globe Software. With BI 360, we have worked with the Solver team for many years, and they have multiple products available that cover a lot of that spectrum of business intelligence that I was showing you earlier within the presentation. They do have Excel-based, web-based reporting that can be live right into your financial reporting information. I believe for both GP, NAV, AX, all 3 of those products, they have direct links into your data. Very powerful solution for your financial reporting, and they do have direct links into the GLs for each of those products, as well as direct links into the AR, the payables, inventory information if you want to get operational reports. And then they have that capability for you to be able to drill into the details, so you can go from your financial report and drill directly down into the GL detail and back into the AR or the AP if you would like. All of the reporting is web and mobile ready, so that you can access those reports anytime, anywhere. And they do have all of the automatic scheduling, email distribution of the reporting built in. Also, really that we feel that their planning module is the replacement, the right replacement for Forecaster. And if you're a Dynamics GP client and you've been using Forecaster, you know that it was announced that that product is no longer going to be supported after GP 2016. So with the BI 360 planning module, you've got something that we feel like is a very strong replacement for budgeting and for forecasting. Again, Excel-based, has the approval workflows all built into it, and has a lot of pre-built templates available as well, so that you can do all of your modeling, your what-if analysis, and you can do so with the security and the approvals built in for that. Does all of the dashboarding and some of the things that you saw with Power BI, you can do inside of BI 360 as well. So you can have customized dashboards. You have things that are running real time against your ERP data. And if you'd like, you can even then add on top of that a data warehouse, and they allow you to be able to take data not only from your Dynamics product, but multiple sources, consolidate that, and bring that into a true data warehouse that you can then run your dashboards against, do your budgeting, all of your reporting against that data warehouse, and integrate that in with other data sources that might come from the cloud or other parts of your company, then apply advanced business rules to it, so that you've got things like currency and elimination that could happen inside of the data warehouse to further enhance your reporting. So a lot of things available from Solver in the BI 360, from reporting all the way through to data warehousing, including budgeting and forecasting. Another vendor that we work with quite a bit, especially on the Dynamics NAV side, is Jet Reports. And just recently announced was Jet Reports for Excel. The Express, Jet Reports Express, is now going to be available for Dynamics GP. And that product is expected to come out here end of July, end of June, beginning of July. And Jet Reports Express has been part of the NAV product for many years, and we have, within our consulting team, provided quite a bit of help to our NAV clients around Jet Reports Express, and found it to be a very, very nice tool for financial reporting, creating custom reports, and very powerful tool as well. So it, again, has real-time access to all of the data inside of NAV, and it will be the same within GP as well. We found that to be a very excellent, flexible tool for creating financial reports. Comes with a lot of pre-built tools and templates already there for your balance sheet, your P&L, and then does work with multiple company databases. So if you do have multi-company within your environment, it's already aware of that and can allow you to be able to slice and dice the data based upon the company that you're working with, or look at the information across multiple companies. The professional version builds on that, so not only what's available in Express, and this was formerly called Essentials, but they just recently changed the name of it to Professional. But the professional version builds on what's inside of Express and adds to that with mobile web access and deployment of your reports, allows you to bring multiple data sources into your report creation environment, similar to what I was talking about with Power BI, where I could bring in something from a SQL Server database. I could bring in Excel data, bring that all together, start to create reports from that. Jet Reports Professional allows you to be able to schedule the running of your reports, share those out. You can share that out via web, share that through a SharePoint site. Then you've got the full security over who has access to which reports and what they can view. And then also allows you to be able to do a lot of free-form report writing. In other words, I can take the data and construct this report any way that I would like, create links between different data sources and the tables and the data within that, and then come up with something unique that I didn't have before. So maybe I've got some table relationships inside of Dynamics NAV that I've wanted to be able to do, but I can't for whatever reason. I can maybe bring that data into Jet Reports Professional, bring data in from the outside, create a relationship, and now I've got data before that I didn't have. And then with Enterprise, it builds upon what's in Professional and Express and adds dashboards, KPI creation, capability for creating and managing a data warehouse, doing drag and drop reporting, so I can create report widgets utilize those over and over again. So I just drag and drop that onto a report format and create a brand new report using one of those widgets. And then also brings in advanced security so that I can get into sharing out a portion of a report with some people, but I could open up more of that report to others, so I could get very detailed in terms of the security that I'm going to apply to my reporting and even within a particular report itself. So JET Reports, and JET has been around for many, many years, providing report writing tools within the NAV world, and they've started to expand on that into GP and into AX. And JET Reports Express for Dynamics GP will be coming here the middle of the summer. And then last, Atlas from Globe Software is a vendor that we've just started working with primarily for our Dynamics AX customers, and provides a reporting format that allows you to work with visualizations to create bar charts, pie charts, line graphs. They have written their product so that it can read and write data directly to Dynamics AX. So I can make changes to AX data inside of Excel and write that back into the Excel tables, and everything's checked, verified. I can take that information out of Dynamics AX directly and then make manipulations, create my reports in Excel. And then within Atlas, I can consolidate data from multiple sources so that I can create my reports and my dashboards, and do all of this over the web, as well as then publish all of my reports to the web or out to a mobile app and share things mobilely with people to their tablets or to their smartphones. So those are the three ISVs that we primarily work with. Solver with BI360, JET Reports with Express and Enterprise and Professional, and Globe Software with their Atlas report writing product. So at this time, we'll take some questions and open it up for questions. My contact information is right here. If you'd like to get in touch with me directly, you can through email. That's my direct phone number. Twitter @MarkDJensen. And by all means, please go out to InterDyn BMI.com and see what we have to offer. But all of our services people, we've got services people trained, ready to help you out with any of these report writing tools, including Power BI. And of course, always ready to help you out with your reporting. And just if you wanted to step back and take a look at your process reporting and your data quality and data management processes, we have people on staff too that can help you with ensuring that you've got good quality data that you can then be confident in making decisions based on that data. So Michael, at this time we'll just stop and we'll open things up for questions.
Okay, we don't have any yet, but we'll give a couple minutes in case people want to pour in some questions here. And just a reminder, we did record this session, so if there was anything you missed or want to look over, we'll include a link in that follow-up email, as well as the URL for the Power BI website. We'll give another couple minutes in case anyone does have a question they're mulling over in their mind right now. But if we don't get anything, we can always get out a little bit early. It's a quiet crowd, it looks like. Alrighty, well we can go ahead and break a little bit early. If you guys do have any later questions that come up, feel free to reach out to Mark or your account executive, and they'll be able to help you with anything that you heard during today's presentation. We will cut out, let's see, about 15 minutes early here, so on behalf of everyone at InterDyn BMI, we just want to thank you for your attendance, and have a good rest of your day. Thanks again, guys.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.